This is Dr. Okwevanwu, and my friends call me Pastor O. I'm the founder and the vision overseer of the Cyber Embassy for All Nations, the world's first full-fledged, all-internet, purpose-driven church. I mean, our church exists or will exist since we are starting it effectively, February 2020, and will operate as a 100% online church to not just reach out to the lost, the discouraged, the hopeless, but to disciple Christians online and bring back the joy of fellowship to most Christians who spend more and more of their time on the internet. I mean, we are a pure internet-based church, or we are going to be one on the internet, by people on the internet, for people on the internet. So today on this Netvangelism show, I would like to share with you 10 reasons why we need an all-cyber church now, and why you need to belong to one, and why other churches need to get organized on the massive takeover of the internet for the Great Commission, with exclusive internet churches being started by churches that understand the sign of the times. All right, when I talk about all internet church, many people confuse it with a church building that is sharing their information online, or that is having some kind of ministry online. This is nothing like that. This is an all internet church with no church building, with no responsibility to church buildings, where all the staff, all the pastors, all the ministers, everybody does everything they do 100% online. And where even all the people they minister to are online, nothing in the physical nature. And when I share this vision, and I've been sharing for about 3 years why we need to have this, many people just thought I'm crazy. They thought, well, why would we want to do that? Why do we want to have an all-internet church? And I just want to share a few of those reasons with you, so that you can understand what is driving this. So here are 10 reasons why I believe we are fully ready for an all 100% internet church. The first reason is that the internet makes it easier, faster, and cheaper to penetrate hostile nations to the gospel. We all know that at this point in time, even as global as the world is right now, there are some countries that are totally closed to the gospel. They will kill you if you go out there to go and try to share the gospel with citizens of those countries. And where they don't kill you, you are severely limited in the way you can worship, in the way you can share the faith. But the internet takes all that away. Now we can share the gospel across the air. I call it raining it down from the air with no risk to limb, to body, or to life. That is one reason why this is an awesome time to start an all-internet church. Number two, the internet reduces the cost of netvangelism, or evangelism, so to speak. See, we all know evangelism is a very, 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 very costly proposition for those who are doing it right. I'm not talking about those who are gathering in a church and just preaching to the same people who already accepted Christ and call it evangelism. The cost of starting and maintaining a brick and mortar church is getting higher by the moment, with more than 70% of churches, according to the Barna research, all over the world, barely having enough to stay open. With an all-internet church, the cost of actually evangelizing, the cost of actually running churches is reduced by as much as a factor of 90% from the normal cost. That's why we all need to be thinking about this. Reason number three why I think this is an idea that the time is here now is that the internet is the best medium to spread the gospel today. When you look at it, okay, it is the best place to spread the gospel right now. While the gospel message will never change, the means of delivering the message have always changed over the centuries. The internet is the new marketplace where billions of souls all over the world gather for hours each and every day to fellowship, share their joys and frustrations, and where the hopeless are looking for new hope, the discouraged, the angry, they are all out there. Jesus took the gospel to the marketplace in his time because that is where the people are. That's where the hungry are. That's where the brokenhearted are. And it is time we move the great work of the gospel to the internet, where the people spend most of their time right now. No matter who you are, at least for more than 70% of the world right now, maybe 80, maybe even 90%, we all spend at least 1 hour online every day. We are always doing something on the internet. Either we're checking mail, we're on social media, or we are browsing through Google or whatever. We spend time online. That is where the people are. And that is where we need to take the gospel exclusively. So for those of you who might be wondering about the church before I go on to the rest of the reasons, I want to use this opportunity to quickly invite you to be one of the pioneer members of this new move of God. They're called the Cyber Embassy of Christ for All Nations, that is going to be launching officially February 2nd, 2020. Right now, we're in the process of recruiting pioneer workers, ministers, pastors, and members who will help us take this new vision to the global level. So if you would like to join us as one of the pioneer members, workers, ministers, or pastors of this church, right now you want to go to the cyberembassy.org/pioneers. Fill out the form and tell us how you'd like to join us in taking back the power of the internet for the spread of the gospel message. I look forward, as a vision overseer myself, to help you, to train you, to encourage you, for all of us to work together so that we can start a whole new movement where different churches are beginning. We begin following our own example to start 100% all online church, not online churches that are responding to physical churches, but online churches that start and end on the internet. We'll be talking more about that and how that is going to be possible. Remember, with man, some things are impossible, but with God, all things are possible. And I believe the time for an all 100% internet church where the preaching, the ministering, even the children care is all taking place on the internet. Join us and find out how this is going to work. All right, the fourth reason why I believe the time has come for an all internet church is that many are disenchanted with the old brick and mortar methods of doing church, where it is mostly dictatorial. There's virtually very little feedback. You go to church on Sunday, the pastor just preaches down on you, and you just sit down there and take it. There's hardly any opportunity for question and answers to clarify some of the sermon you just heard, or for you to share your doubts, your own questions about what you are being taught. People are tired of that. People are tired of being dictated to where their questions are really not being addressed. Their real questions are not being addressed. The internet provides that opportunity where even sermons are going to become interactive. Whereas you're teaching, somebody can post a question, somebody can respond to what you are saying, and you can take that up and you can work that into the sermon, or you can even bring somebody live online with you during your sermon. Dynamic sermon processes, just like when you are doing a webinar. So you're preaching, but people are making comments, people are making voicing their opinion about it, and the ones that are relevant to what you're talking about, you can actually bring them onto the pulpit with you. How awesome is that? Right online in front of the whole church globally, and you guys can exchange ideas and get to educate each other and get to know better. The internet gives opportunity for that, for those who are disenchanted with the way the stress of regular church as usual. Number 5 reason, internet is a faster mode to get support for charitable causes and other God-inspired campaigns. I mean, the physical churches are typically limited by their surrounding, by the people in the physical church, but with the internet, now you have a global place to get support for whatever charitable causes that you desire or that you feel the heart for, and where you can also do campaigns that can go viral and go global in a matter of minutes without you having to spend millions and millions of dollars just to get the global place to be part of the movement. How awesome can that be? Imagine where we have churches from different denominations, have all online churches that can run massive campaigns at the drop of a hat. We can actually begin to influence this world for good with the voice of the church being heard instantly, quickly, and globally. The internet gives us that. That is why we want to have churches that are all online based. The harvest is really plentiful on the internet, probably more than off the internet. People hardly visit each other offline anymore, but they will exchange pleasantries online. They will chat all day with people they don't know. So we need to take the gospel there. Number 6 reason why I believe the time is now for an all internet church like the Cyber Embassy for all of Christ for all nations that is going to be kicking off officially October 2nd, 2020. The internet is an easier and better way for members to give and financially support churches. I just laughed when one of the pastors I shared this vision with a couple of years ago. I mean, this has been agitating my mind for almost 3 years. And I was so hesitant about getting it started. But now I know we need to model it so that other churches can copy what we're doing. And this can be a global first. I've never believed in a competition among churches. I think we all should work together and present a common front against the enemy on the internet. But when I shared this with the pastor once, he told me, but how are they going to be able to collect offering and how are they going to be able to financially support churches? I'm like, you are still thinking physical churches. There is no place that is better to get your offering and your tithe than online. Everybody's got a credit card now. Everybody's got a charge card. Everybody's got a bank card. If they're committed enough, if they believe in the vision enough, they will pay their tithe and their offering on the internet. Globally, they don't have to send you a check. They don't have to carry physical cash into the church. The internet is so suited to funding the churches right now that there should be no fear about whether this is going to work for us when you decide to start an all online church. For those of you who are watching this, maybe you're a general overseer or maybe you're a pastor of a physical church and the idea has probably been occurring to you, but you're still thinking of where you are maybe doing 2 or 3 hours a week on the internet to support your physical church. You may want to start thinking about actually ordaining internet pastors. That's where they do their work 24/7. They don't have a physical office to go report to. They report on Facebook. They report on Instagram. And that's where they do their work. The internet is a much faster way to get those ministries funded now. Number 7 reason why I believe the time is here. Internet is removing the walls of nations for true fellowship and discipleship of believers. While there's a lot of nonsense out there on the internet, there's also a lot of Christians, a lot of people with clean hearts who want to fellowship together. But many are limited by barriers of visa, ability to go to each other in different countries. The internet removes that. So a Christian in Accra can actually fellowship with another brother in Australia and connect with another brother in London and one in Israel. They can all have fellowship simultaneously on the internet without any barrier. It's amazing, this tool that the Lord has provided for us to be able to share his word, to be able to take a Great Commission to the next level. Also, discipleship. You can have a great Bible teacher in Norway, actually teaching people globally, in South Africa, in Canada, in Lagos, Nigeria, globally, discipling them and teaching them the ways of the Lord without even ever having to meet them in person. A soul is a soul is a soul is a soul. Whether the soul that is in a physical building or the one that you are looking at on the internet, the way you are looking at me, it requires a paradigm shift. And I think the internet has been given to us on a platter of gold by the Lord himself. But contrary to what people think, I don't believe this is an invention of the devil. I think God allowed this to happen because he really needs the gospel to go to the whole world simultaneously. Number 8 reason why I like the idea of an all-internet church right now, the internet solves the problem of Bible study attendance for people walking far away from church. This is particularly important in those living in those cities where there's heavy traffic, where movement from one place to the other is a nightmare. So you work in a certain location, but you want to attend Bible study in your church on Tuesday or Wednesday, but you are spending 3-4 hours in traffic, like people living in Africa, like a place like Lagos, or people living in New York. You are stuck, or living in Atlanta, you are stuck during rush hour. So you can't even make it to your church. But with the mechanism of the internet, you can attend Bible study right on your phone, on your laptop, wherever you are, whether you're in traffic, whether you're in your office, wherever you are, globally. You can be part of your church without having to miss anything when it comes to Bible study, which I believe is so critical to the Christian life. Because when we study the Bible, is when we can begin to change our character more and become better Christians, as Jesus intended. Number 9 reason why I think the time is ripe for a for an all-internet church is sermons and teachings are more interactive, like I said at the beginning, and educative than in physical churches. The days are past when pastor will just say it and then get down from the pulpit and it's done. And all the questions that you have about that sermon, you can't answer. So there's a blockage for you. You can't make that leap because there are still some questions to be answered that the man who is preaching is probably too arrogant to listen to you. He's probably too full of his Holy Spirit or that he believes in himself to even answer you. But the internet presents a way where we can have interactive sermons, where as the pastor is preaching, you can express your doubt. You can ask him questions about it. He may answer it in the course of his sermon, or he may respond to it after the sermon is over. But at least there is now an interactive opportunity to the teachings of the gospel. And when the sermon is over, it is on the internet. Let's say on Facebook, for instance, if it was done on Facebook Live or wherever it's done on YouTube, it's there for weeks and months. People can go there, they can ask questions, the pastor can come back and respond to those questions, thereby leading people to Christ with conviction, helping them to address their doubts, helping them to address questions arising from the sermons that we teach. How awesome is that? And finally, the 10th reason why I believe every church worth its name should be considering an all-internet church is that internet churches allows ongoing training, fellowship, and interaction long after the service is over. One of the challenges we have with physical churches now is that most of us, when we leave church on Sunday, we got nothing else to do with church between Monday and Saturday until the next Sunday. With the internet, all that changes. Ongoing training can be 24/7. Interaction with the Word of God, interaction with other believers, interaction with teachers is an ongoing thing 24/7. That way, we can carry our holiness on Sunday all the way through Monday to Saturday through peer encouragement, through peer discussions, through places you can go to discuss this. As we begin to have our private groups, our secret groups, closed groups, to do different things in the church, even deliverance. We can have a private group that is specifically set for deliverance. Those who need deliverance can come in there, and it's a closed-off place where they can be ministered to, prayers can take place, and everything else that you can do in a physical church. I am personally very excited about this new move of God and what God can ultimately do with it. The Cyber Embassy for All Nations is a 100% online church with a strategic mission to harness the power of the internet to take the role and reach of the church to a whole new level using the new mechanism of the internet. And I want to encourage you, I can't do this work myself. Me and my team that are coming up with actually belling the cat. I train pastors. I train people on how to use the internet to maximize whatever it is they do. But I realize that at some point we have to model this all 100% online church. And I'm not talking about a church that is responding to offline, that is owned by a physical church that is trying to do a part of his work online. I'm talking about all online. And I know a time has come for us to demo what one should look like. But I can't do it by myself. I need you. I need ministers. I need workers. I need people who are going to pastor the church. Please join us at the cyberembassy.org/pioneers. Just go in there and complete the form and tell us how you would like to join us in this work. And we've got some wonderful gifts for you just for registering at that site. We have some great benefits for members of the church. For instance, we are going to be revolutionary in many ways. Most churches focus on you giving. We are going to focus on you earning the money. So there's going to be massive digital business empowerment training as part of the structure of our church. We're going to be encouraging people to voice how Christianity is working for them. We're going to challenge a lot of the doctrines that are man-made that actually limits people from experiencing God. And so it's going to be exciting times as we make this a great leap of faith into an all 100% online church. So we're working towards a formal launch of this new model for churches on the first Sunday in February 2020. So pray along with us. Everywhere you are, if you're watching this, pray along with us to make this day a great day for the kingdom. This is not an assignment for a few people alone. We're now actively in the process, like I said several times already, of recruiting pioneer workers, ministers, pastors, and members to help us make this vision a reality. I need people like you who are ready to use new tools to deliver the same old message of hope, salvation, and recognition of God and his purposes to a whole new level. So to join us in the Great Commission, or in taking the Great Commission to a whole new level, using the tool that billions of people are using every day, join us at Cyber Embassy of Christ for All Nations, either as a pioneer member, a worker, minister, or a pastor, by going to the cyberembassy.org/pioneers. I am so excited about what God is doing, and I sincerely look forward to working with you as we bring this great vision to life. We need people to own the ministry. This is not one of those ministries that is going to be centered on one person. People are going to own different segments of this ministry. Discipleship is going to happen online. We're going to teach you how to do that. Ministry is going to happen online. Fellowship is going to be done online. Evangelism is going to be done online. Ministration is going to be done online. Worship is going to be done online. We need people to own those different segments, that different departments. And the whole month of January, we are going to be training our workers and our pioneer ministers and pastors on how to do this work, so that when we kick off on February 2nd, 2020, with God on our side, we can start a whole new movement on the internet. I look forward to working with you in this new move of God. Go now to the cyberembassy.org/pioneers and join the new vanguard.